Welcome to my channel. Try to hear the latest story.
She told me, if you're not okay with my friend's sharp humor, you can settle the bill and go. I replied, thanks for giving me a choice. Then I stood, grabbed my keys, and left the restaurant. She thought I was bluffing until her friends' chuckles faded when they saw I'd only covered my own meal. I'm 29, male, and just walked away from what was meant to be a celebratory dinner. Now I'm in my car, reflecting on what went down. My girlfriend, Vanessa, 28, who I've been with for 3 years, handed me an escape route and I took it. A bit of context. Vanessa and I met at a friend's housewarming party. She was witty, driven, a marketing coordinator. We hit it off right away, moved in together after a year and a half. Things were mostly great except for one issue: her friend circle. Her tight-knit group includes 3 women from her college days. Meredith, 29, Jasmine, 28, and Bianca, 27. They're a lot. They've always been intense, but lately, they've crossed lines. They constantly poke fun at me, starting with small jabs about my job as an electrician, my passion for restoring vintage motorcycles, even my wardrobe. I let it slide at first because Vanessa would laugh along but later assure me she didn't agree with them. Tonight was a dinner to celebrate Vanessa's promotion to senior marketing coordinator. I was genuinely thrilled for her, suggested we go to a fancy steakhouse downtown, and offered to cover the whole table to make it special. The evening started well. Drinks, appetizers, casual chatter until Meredith kicked things off. So, Jake, still messing with cables for a living? Must be nice having such a basic gig. Not much brain power needed. Huh. I forced a smile. Actually, electrical work involves a ton of problem solving and... Jasmine interrupted. Oh, come on. It's not like you needed a degree for that. Vanessa's out here dominating the corporate world while you're... What? Tinkering with bikes. I explained. I restore classic motorcycles. Just finished a 1978 Honda. Bianca smirked. How much do you blow on those junk heaps? Vanessa, sitting there, just grinned and shook her head, as if to say, oh, you guys. She didn't defend me, not even a little. The digs kept coming throughout the meal, mocking my grease monkey hobby, saying I probably couldn't grasp Vanessa's intricate marketing strategies, until Meredith flat out said I was lucky Vanessa was slumming it with me. The breaking point came when Jasmine quipped, Van, when are you going to trade up? Jake's nice, but you're on the executive track and he's, well. I set down my fork and looked at Vanessa. She sighed, Jake, they're just messing around. I said, this doesn't feel like messing around. Bianca laughed. Wow, so sensitive. Gonna tear up because we bruised your ego. I stayed calm. I'm not okay with this. That's when Vanessa looked me in the eye and said, if you can't handle my friend's edgy jokes, just pay your share and leave. The table went silent for a moment. Then Meredith snickered. She actually said it. I stood, pulled out my wallet, calculated my meal plus tip, and placed the cash down. This covers me. Vanessa rolled her eyes. Jake, sit down, don't make a scene. I grabbed my keys. Enjoy your celebration. As I walked away, their laughter followed. I heard Jasmine say, he'll be back in 10 minutes, bet. I didn't return. Got to my car, sat there for a bit. My phone lit up about 10 minutes later. First, Vanessa. Hilarious, Jake. Come back and pay the bill. Then, this isn't funny anymore. Then, are you for real right now? I drove home. More texts poured in. Apparently, the bill, nearly $400 for their pricey steaks, cocktails, and desserts, hit the table. I'd left $60 for my share. Vanessa called 15 times during my drive. I didn't pick up. When I got to our apartment complex, she'd left 3 voicemails, escalating from irritated to livid. I'm about to head inside to grab some stuff. Not sure what's next, but I'm done being their punching bag. Update 1: didn't sleep much. Stayed at my friend Marcus's place after picking up clothes and essentials from the apartment. Vanessa's texts kept coming all night. I can't believe you embarrassed me like that. My friends think you're a joke. You left me with a $400 bill. This is mortifying. Venmo me now. Answer your phone. Around 2 a.m. her friends piled on. Meredith sent a long rant accusing me of being financially manipulative, for tricking them into thinking I'd pay. Jasmine called me a small-minded loser. Bianca sent a Venmo request for $100 labeled for emotional distress. I blocked all 4 of them and tried to rest. This morning, Vanessa showed up at Marcus's door. Marcus, a total champ, said I wasn't there. She wasn't convinced. I know he's here. His truck's outside. Marcus shrugged. Haven't seen him. Maybe he parked and took an Uber somewhere. She lingered for 20 minutes, banging on the door and calling my blocked number, before yelling, "This is so immature, Jake. You can't just dodge your obligations." Obligations? I paid for my meal. That was my only duty. Over coffee, Marcus and I talked. He's been saying for months that Vanessa's friends are toxic, and she enables them. Dude, remember when they mocked your mom's accent at your birthday? Or called your sister's wedding cute for a low-budget thing? You're worth more than this. He's right. I've been excusing their behavior too long. Around 10 a.m., unknown numbers started calling. I answered one. It was Vanessa using her work phone. "Jake, we need to talk." I said, "Go ahead, talk. Not like this. Come home." "I'm fine where I am." She said, "You're being absurd. So your feelings got hurt. My friends were just having fun. You humiliated me and left me with the bill." I replied, "I paid for my food, Vanessa. You told me to leave if I didn't like it. I did." She switched gears. "Baby, I'm sorry they went too far. Come home, we'll sort it out. But, can you send the money for last night? I had to put it on my card." No. You invited us out. To celebrate your promotion. Your friends insulted me the whole time while you laughed. I'm not paying for that." She called me insane. I hung up. She kept calling from other numbers. I stopped answering. Then, something unexpected. A text from an unknown number. "Hey, this is Terrell, Bianca's boyfriend. Heard what happened. Good for you, man. They've been trashing you for years. Bianca showed me the texts, and you did the right thing. They're at Vanessa's now, scheming some kind of payback. Thought you should know." "Payback? For not being their personal bank?" "I'm staying at Marcus's a few more days while I plan my next move. The lease is in both our names, but I cover most of the rent. That's gotta be addressed soon." What stings is Vanessa hasn't once apologized for her friend's behavior or admitted how wrong it was. It's all about the money and her embarrassment. Update 2: the payback happened, and it's both pathetic and maddening. First, some good news. I swung by the apartment while Vanessa was at work to grab more stuff. Found a notice on the door, a noise complaint from Monday night. Apparently, her powwow with her crew got loud enough to upset multiple neighbors. That's now on our rental record. Fantastic. The apartment was a mess. Wine bottles scattered, takeout containers on the counter, my PlayStation nowhere to be found. Later discovered it stashed in her closet. But the real blow? She'd gone through my toolbox and sold several of my specialized electrical tools on Facebook Marketplace. My Klein voltage tester, Fluke multimeter, $400 worth, listed cheap for quick sales. A mutual friend tipped me off and I screenshot everything. Then I noticed she'd been in my project room. The 1978 Honda CB750 I'm restoring? Listed on Craigslist as a mechanic special, needs work, $2,000 OBO, must go. That bike's worth at least $6,000 as is, probably $10,000 when finished. And it's mine. I called the police non-emergency line, explained everything. They said since we share the apartment, it's tricky, but selling someone else's property without consent is theft. They advised documenting it all and filing a report. While I was taking photos, my landlord texted, "Jake, need to discuss the lease. Vanessa says you abandoned the apartment and wants you off it. Also got a noise complaint. Call me." I called Mr. Chun right away. He's been my landlord for 3 years, solid guy. I explained the situation. "She says you moved out and won't pay rent. I've been gone 3 days due to a personal issue. I'm not abandoning anything. I'm at the apartment now." He said, "She made it sound like you've been gone weeks. Honestly, Jake, I'd rather keep you as a tenant. You're never late on rent, no issues until now. If you want the lease in your name only, I'm open to it." What about her? She'd need to agree to be removed, or you'd both have to break the lease. But that noise complaint? One more, and I can start eviction. Interesting. I documented everything, then moved my bike to Marcus's garage. Grabbed my remaining valuable tools. Left anything we'd bought together. Only took what was mine pre-relationship. That evening, Vanessa came home as I was loading the last box into my truck. "What are you doing?" "Securing my stuff since you're selling it without permission. I needed money for that dinner you ditched. So you stole my tools?" "It's not stealing. We live together. What's yours is mine." "That's not how it works, Vanessa." She stood there, arms crossed, in her work attire. Meredith's car pulled up behind her. Of course. You're not seriously ending our relationship over one dinner. It's not one dinner. It's 3 years of your friends belittling me while you backed them up. It's you telling me to leave if I didn't like it. It's you stealing from me when I followed through. Meredith chimed in. Oh, look. The loser's here. Jake, you owe Vanessa $400. I kept loading. No, I don't. Yes, you do. You invited us out. And paid for my share when I was told to go. Which I did. Meredith turned to Vanessa. Told you he's too stubborn. Blue-collar types always have brittle egos. I laughed. Actually laughed. My ego's fine. My limits are just clear now. I closed the truck, and Vanessa grabbed my arm. Jake, please let's talk. We are talking. I'm done. I'll handle the lease this week. Find a roommate. Maybe one of your ambitious friends. You're throwing away 3 years? No, you did. I'm just done bankrolling it. I drove off, leaving them staring. Felt like a burden lifted. She kept calling from random numbers that night. Left a voicemail. You're right. My friends crossed a line. But you didn't have to be so harsh. Come home, we can fix this. I love you. Too little, too late. Final update time to wrap up this absurd chapter. I filed a police report for the stolen tools. With screenshots of her marketplace listings and my receipts, it was clear-cut. The officer said they'd follow up with her. Met with Mr. Chun about the lease. Vanessa refused to be removed, thinking she had the upper hand. She didn't know I documented everything. Turns out, selling stolen goods online creates a paper trail. And when you rack up 3 noise complaints in 2 weeks, yep, her support gatherings with her friends kept happening. Violate lease terms by selling another tenant's property, and harass neighbors. She'd been bugging Marcus about my whereabouts. Landlords have leverage. Mr. Chun issued her a cure or quit notice. 3 days to fix the violations or face eviction. Suddenly, she was eager to get off the lease. Here's where it gets poetic. Remember Terrell, Bianca's boyfriend? He reached out again. He was fed up with Bianca, who'd been mocking him to Vanessa and the others, calling him a temporary boyfriend, until she found someone better. He dumped her and moved out the same week. The fallout was swift. Without Terrell's rent contributions, Bianca couldn't afford her place. She tried crashing with Vanessa, but that violated the cure or quit notice. Jasmine's relationship tanked when her boyfriend saw her entitled texts to me. He started questioning her attitude, and they're now on a break. Meredith, the instigator, got fired, not from this drama, but for spending work hours bad-mouthing people, including colleagues, on social media. HR had enough. Jobless. She couldn't sustain her flashy lifestyle. Meanwhile, I found a 1-bedroom closer to work. Rent's cheaper, too. Been pouring time into my bike restoration. Should be done by spring. Picked up some side electrical gigs that pay well. Yesterday, Vanessa texted. She's moving in with her parents. Her friend group collapsed when money got tight, and they turned on each other. Bianca blamed Vanessa for dating beneath her. Jasmine called Meredith a bad influence. Meredith said they were all ungrateful. Vanessa's text. I see now how toxic they were. I should have defended you. I'm sorry. Can we try again? I didn't reply. There's nothing left to say. Marcus helped me move into my new place last weekend. As we carried boxes, he said, Man, you didn't just dodge a bullet. You escaped a whole firing line. He's right. Ran into Terrell at a sports bar last week. We grabbed a drink, swapped stories about our exes. Turns out we're both blue-collar guys who dated women who thought they were settling. We're hanging out again this weekend, maybe hitting a motorcycle show. Sometimes the best revenge isn't complicated. It's just refusing to be anyone's doormat or wallet. They wanted me to pay. They're all paying now, just not how they thought. My mom called yesterday, said I sound happier than I have in years. She's right. I am. It's amazing how much lighter you feel when you stop carrying people who don't value you.